Cascading Lookup is an Office 365 app offered by KWizCom. The basic function of Cascading Lookup is to allow you to create lookup columns that automatically filter choices based on values from other lookup columns. Additionally, the app allows you to link to columns in separate sites. Both of these features are not available with the standard out-of-the-box Office 365. To install Cascading Lookup, you simply click your Settings wheel in Office 365 and choose the Add an App option. When the list of your apps comes up, on the left-hand side on the Quick Launch, you would pick the SharePoint store. From the SharePoint store, you can then search for the app that you want to install. In this case, we want to search for Cascading Lookup. Once we found the app, Cascading Lookup, we click the link to Cascading Lookup, and then we would click the Add It. I only need the app installed on the site that I want to create lookup columns or cascading lookup columns in, and I've already done that on a demo site. So at this point, I'm going to go back to my team site. And the columns that I'm going to link to, I've got in 3 separate lists that you can see along the left-hand side in my quick launch. I've got US cities, US states, and US regions. Each one of these is just a custom list. Starting with US regions, it just has a list of 4 regions: Northeast, Southeast, West, and Southwest. This list is not linked to any other lists. The next level list would be US states. In this list, I have an entry for a state name and a lookup column, a standard lookup column, back to the US regions and the region that that state is located in. Finally, I have a US cities custom list that has a column for the city name and additionally a lookup column that goes back to the US state and the state that that's linked to. What I want to do with the cascading lookup is I want to create a list in a child site. The child site I've got is called Retail Stores. I'm going to click the link, navigate to Retail Stores. And on the Retail Stores site, I've already created a store list, custom list, and I've also got the KWizCom Cascading Lookup app installed. You can see both of those listed under the recent area of my quick launch. The store list is the list that I'm going to create the Cascading Lookup fields or columns within it. The store list, custom list, is the list that I'm going to create the Cascading Lookup columns within. To add the Cascading Lookup column to this store list, I'm going to click the List tab, which opens up the List tab toolbar. And since I've already got the KWizCom Cascading Lookup app installed, I have an icon in my toolbar labeled Cascading Lookup Columns. When I click that button, this opens up a dialog that allows me to create my custom lookup. I could also use this to edit any existing cascading lookup columns that I've already created, but I haven't created any yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a new column. We'll call this column Store Region. I scroll down the page and it allows me to pick what site I want to get my list information from. In this case, I'm going to navigate up to the parent site, and this opens up a second drop down which shows me all the lists that it's detected in the parent site. And I want to choose the US regions list. This is going to be my first column that I link to. The region name is the only column in that list at this point, so I'm going to leave that default selection. And at this point I don't want to filter the list, so I'm going to scroll down. I also don't want to make multiple choices. That's another option that I have. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom and select the button at the bottom that's titled I'm done. Please create a new column for me. Just to see what it looks like so far, I'm going to click the new item link. This opens up the form that reads in my store regions, and I can notice that all my regions are available now in the drop down. Additionally, I have the option to create a new item, and this list is coming from another site than the current site that I'm working in. So that alone is unique from what I can do with out-of-the-box lookup columns. Right now I'm going to cancel. I don't want to create a new item. And I'm going to add another lookup column to start to get the cascade effect. So again, I'll click the Cascading Lookup Columns button. Create a new column. I'm going to call this Store State. Choose the parent site as the site I want to get the data from. Pick my US states as the list that the data exists in. State name is the column that I want to get the data from. Now for the states list, I want to filter the options available. I could filter based on a view that's been created. In this case, I want to filter though on another column in the existing list. And I want to filter that based on the store region. This opens up an area where I can specify what value I want that to be linked to, and I want it to be based on the US region. To save my changes, I'm going to scroll down and choose the I'm done and have it create the column for me. To test it, I'll click the new item link. And then I can see that based on my store region selection, I'll select the Northeast, I'm only seeing states that are related to the Northeast. If I change the selection of the region, let's say Southwest, I'll see states that are linked to the Southwest region. Now I want to add one more column, so I'm going to cancel this. And then back here in my List tab toolbar, I'm going to once again click the Cascading Lookup Columns button. This time I'm going to create a column to store city information. So I'm going to label this Store City for my new column name. Scroll down. Where I want to get this city information from is the parent site. And from the lists in the parent site, I want to link to US cities. I'll leave city name as the selected column. And then the column I want to filter this based on is going to be the state, store state, the column that I created previously. And then I'm going to link it to the data within the state column of store state. And this time I'm also going to choose the checkbox that allows me to select multiple values and scroll down and choose the option that I'm done and have it create the new column. For the final test, I'm going to click the new item option once again. Now I can pick my store region. We'll pick Northeast and choose a state. We'll pick New York. I see that my cities are filtered by the name of the state that's chosen. If I choose another state, let's say Pennsylvania, I'll see that the cities reflect the state Pennsylvania. If I choose a different region, we'll choose Southeast, choose Florida, I can see that the cities are cities within Florida. Cancel this. If I need to edit any of the columns that I've created, I can click the Cascading Lookup Columns button. And instead of choosing a new column, in the drop down I can choose one of the existing columns, say region, and then I can scroll down and make any adjustments that I may need to make. Once I'm done making my adjustments, I can click the button to update my column, and I'm ready to go. In summary, Cascading Lookup is a great application for creating columns that link to different sites and for creating columns that filter based on choices of other columns. That's it for this demonstration, and I hope you enjoyed it.